So today we're going to try to finish doing the zipper into the leather jacket, motorcycle jacket, the Harley jacket with the orange zipper. And this is a continuation, so I've taken off the free arm of it. I've got my zipper and placket in place. And as you can see, this raw edge here does get covered up by the sleeve right here. So I have it, it's hard to pin it in place, so you really have to hold on to it. So I'm going to get it started using the zipper foot so that it will stay there in place. Remember, this is a dense material, the leather, so we're using a number 20 needle. Get it in there, and the first couple stitches you have to hand twist in there. Unless you're using an industrial sewing machine, which I don't have one of those. I do have a heavy, this is the heavy duty. I haven't broke out my console industrial machine just yet. I'm getting ready to. So let's see if I can do a couple back stitches real quick. And we're just going to go forward. And I'm going to hold that leather just behind the teeth and then stitch in the previous stitching line. Sometimes you got to give it a little shove because it's got to get over that thick part, even with the number 20 needle. Now, if it's not going to stitch to this, I'm going to have to break out the big guns. But you want to make sure that that leather is actually under the foot. So I may have to switch sides. I think I'm going to do that anyway. So to switch sides, I release the foot, move it over to the other side, and see when my needle's coming down now. Okay, it needs to be over, so I can switch my needle position. And let's see if I can do this without breaking this needle. Doesn't look like it's going to work. This zipper foot is kind of crooked. See if that helps. It has a little bit of give, a little bit of sliding room. Slide it. I need to slide it over even more. If I can. If I can't, then I got to look at my other feet that I have. And I believe this is one I used before. I just remembered it. This is a slider zipper foot. Actually it's a vintage foot. This is more modern, this guy right here, because you can change the feet on it. You can disengage them. But this one is all one piece. It slides back and forth so you can adjust it so you don't break your needle. Put it on the needle bar there. Now all I have to do is unscrew that screw in the back, right back here, and I can slide it this way if I want, which this is what I'm going to do for this one. And I'm just going to hand pull that needle down. I'm going to do it with the zipper button down. Make sure it's still going to clear it, and it clears it quite well. So we're going to go back and just stitch over the previous stitching. This, matter of fact, I think this is the foot I used before. And we are going to go and finish up, hopefully. Sometimes you gotta give it a little move. And I'm doing this slow because I do not want it to slide out of place. This is just to show you that you can use a heavy-duty sewing machine, a vintage sewing machine, without having to have a industrial one, as long as you have the right size needle, because the industrial machines use the exact same needle. The only difference is they use a walking foot to help pull the machine, or what, excuse me, the fabric through. But this one is doing fine, so I'm not going to worry about that. I don't want to sew that pull into there. I'm just stitching where it used to be stitched previously. Now when I get down closer to this portion, what I need to do is zipper it shut just a little bit to get past that because of the little hump, if I need to. Hopefully I won't need to. Now if you find you need to, you lift up the presser foot and you take that zipper pull. I'm going to have to, it's actually going to let me go where I need to go. That's good. Just take your time. I know it's thick there. Okay, now that I'm past there, I can pull that zipper pull just a little bit. Get my fingers back there. There we go. That alleviates some of the stress so that I can get down to this part to where I'm going to sew across it. So let's go this way. I'm doing it like one stitch at a time because you don't need to go really fast and you don't want to go really fast. So I'm going to pivot it to be able to go across that top. I'm going to take it one step at a time because I do not want to sew through the metal of the zipper because I will break that needle in a heartbeat. There. Now, hopefully I won't knock the camera over doing this. Because I've got to pivot the whole jacket to be able to turn that zipper. Then I got to get it up off of the arm. Lift it up just a little bit. I want to be able to come down this side. Make sure you don't catch any of the layers under it. That. This is where you have to kind of lift it up and get it under there. Now if it's not working with the foot in this on this side, then all I need to do with the slider foot is lift it up while the needle's down and move. Actually, I'm going to have to lift the needle up just for a second so I can move it. I want to break the needle. Slide it to the opposite side. Just like this. Give myself a little. Make sure I'm not going to break that needle when it goes down. That's good. Cool. So now I can move my material over, or leather rather, to that spot where it's going to be catching the stitching area. Just like that. You almost have to turn the sleeve sort of inside out a little bit, just so that it doesn't stress it. And you don't want to make any, bad holes on your zipper anyway. So we're going to go like this. I need to snip that little thread across the foot, so it'll continue on like it's supposed to. Like that. It's a little tedious doing it on a regular machine like this, but I wanted to show you that it can be done, even though it is leather. As long as you have the right foot and the correct needle, it's very doable. You just have to take it literally just 2 or 3 stitches at a time. Make sure I'm not catching my other layer in there. No, I'm not. Okay. You only want to catch the zipper layer, not the fold out part. Okay. So now I'm going to unzip the zipper past that point. Lift it up just a little bit. And I actually can undo this foot and pull this even further over, like out of the way, because it'll come across more. So I can get the zipper unzipped from below. Come there. I guess tweezers might help in this case, but there we go. There, now I've got it so that I've got more leeway. It's going to cooperate more going through there because it's not as tight. Put it back down. Actually, let's do it with the foot to the opposite side. Put it over here. Put it down. And put that thread under that zipper foot. There we go. And like here. It is a lesson in patience, but it is worth it when you see the end results. That clanking noise you're hearing is the zipper pulling behind it. Bouncing. Now here's the cuff part here, and it has to come over the edge. So I want to hold that in place for when it gets there. Okay? Just like this. Here we go. I don't want to sew this down because I need to sew the lining to it. So almost there. Now there is, if I've got one in here available, and it's called, let's see if I have one handy or not. I think it's with the quilting stuff. Excuse me just a second. Little gizmo I need to use. Now you can see the zipper is in there. The zip's fine. It's going to get broken just a little bit. Now, the lining has been separated from the sleeve, so now I'm going to show you how to reattach the lining. So you turn the sleeve completely inside out. Pull the lining out and then the sleeve through the lining. Like this. This side out. I got the lining out. And then here is the bottom of the sleeve coming. Just like this. So here's the sleeve. The stitching that edged it stays in place, and this is where the lining was separated from it. So you're going to match up the underarm seam with the underarm seam here where it was attached, and take that edge and pin it all the way around. Pin this all the way around the whole sleeve, stitching at where the previous stitching was. Turn it right side out, tuck this stitching to the inside, and then what happens is you'll have this seam. So it'll tuck in, and you'll have this on the inside, and then that's where you whip stitch it to the leather using a leather needle. In order to accomplish this, I'm going to take off the zipper foot and I'm going to put on a roller foot, because when you're working with thicker fabric or with leather, this is very helpful. Take the zipper foot off. Place the roller foot on here. And again, because this is leather, it's very difficult to attach the two together with pins.
Was a minor,
so this I can actually put one pin into to get it started.
Especially
just
when
like
he has
this.
Pubic hair around
like
and
that.
between his legs,
And then
facial
pull
hair
that out.
growing on his upper lip
You want
and
to flip
chin,
this edge up all the way around, so that way you don't catch the bottom part in it.
and was able
And
to calmly
place it
only shoot
here.
the people that were
And you want to make sure that the
immediately
zipper
threat
part
to his
is
life.
opened, because remember that raw edge, it's got to get sewn to this too. So I'm going to take care of that right here. And get that raw edge out from the lining.
This is like the other comment said.
Just like this.
I guess Rittenhouse didn't get the verdict he expected
And
him to
then carefully place it under there. Roller foot. Lift it up just a little bit. Get it started. I like to put a couple of starter stitches, I call it. Keeping that edge free. Just to be able to stitch it. Needle in. So my thread just came out. Well, that happens. So let's get some less slack. Put that in there. Thread to the back. Needle in. And then go around slowly to finish the sleeve edge off. It's only about a 1/4 inch seam all the way around. So you can judge it by that. I like to push the little fuzzy stuff back up underneath. Okay, now that this has been sewn all the way around, I'm going to take that out, trim off the threads. Pin out. You want to return it to its right side out stage just to make sure. You can tuck that in. It goes this way. And that naturally pulls that bottom hem in. And then you tuck the lining into the inside because it's going to overlap. You want the lining to overlap it on the inside. So you pull the lining out like that. So you can push that in there. What I like to do is I'll put my arm actually in the sleeve to make it fall properly. And then go around and whip stitch that under by hand. So you basically pulling the lining back to its natural position where it's supposed to be. And you're going to tack
The girl's
this
mom
down.
got an attitude.
So to finish off your sleeve, you turn it wrong side out, which is this is the easier way. And you want to smooth out the lining to the end of the cuff and just tuck in the raw edge. And you get this nice little crisp edge here. And if you've never used a thimble, you want to put it on the finger that you use to shove the needle through when your fabric's too thick. Some people use their index. For me, it's on the middle finger, because that's the finger I typically use to push in there. Now to do this stitch, you start from underside, you come up through that fold that you've created, put a knot in the end of your thread obviously, and you're going to make tiny stitches all the way around by going from the lining to the leather, same place you came up, come out about an 1/8 or to a 1/16 of an inch through the leather and up through the fabric. Pull that good and snug. Try to make sure that this is even all the way going around. You're going to go, I don't need that just yet. And I'm going to go back into the leather behind the stitch where it came up and come out in front of it. This gives it a good, solid seaming. This is hand stitch seaming. When they make these leather jackets with the machine, of course, it's all done in steps where this is stitched on by machine. And when I took it out, it didn't look like machine stitching. It looked like hand stitching, just like I'm doing here, exactly. And if you do it, your stitch is consistent, then you're going to come up with this really nice, snug, tight fit of the lining. And the key is, with this hand blind stitch, is where you come up, you go behind it halfway into that layer, come up halfway, half a stitch out in front of it, and then repeat all the way around. And as you can see, this is going to make a really nice finished edge. So This is the Harley jacket. It's almost done. The zippers are in, and now I'm doing the linings hem to the sleeve. If you've liked this information, like to see more, I am going to bring out the big industrial machine that I bought. It's a tabletop walking foot machine made by Concept. So stay tuned, come back again, and we're going to do a demo on that next. Keep on selling.